We have time for 2 more questions. Okay.
Did she ever talk to you about how she prepared to play someone who's blind and deaf?
Yeah, she... Do you know how she did it? Do you know anything about how Anna prepared for it? I better tell this one. This one I better tell. The reason... Wow. Methinks this one is stronger. The reason I know about it, it actually is I learned about it in connection with some of the trauma she had in her life with her parents. I mean, her own biography is really kind of intense around that time. Her dad was an alcoholic who was in the war and died very young. In fact, she didn't know, I think I'm right in saying that she didn't know that he had seen her performances on stage until later when he talked to when somebody talked to her and said, "Oh yeah, your father would go, virtually every performance and stand in the back of the theater." So she didn't know about that. Her mom was very, they're very poor people. They, I think she sewed buttons during the Second World War or something like that on uniforms and things. So when her brother got her interested in acting, or when her brother was, I don't say discovered, but was kind of identified by these 2 people, the Rosses, and kind of they saw her too and realized that she could be really good at it. And so they got her into commercials and they got her into plays and stuff. And when they saw that this production, this was, for people in the theater community, everyone knew that this was going to be an extraordinary experience. It was not, sort of a surprise hit. It was something that kind of came down through literary, path. So it was a very substantial, sought-after thing. So they kind of were very aggressive with her. I'll try and put it in simple, terms that aren't as dramatic as my mother put them in, but they were incredibly aggressive with her. They blindfolded her. They would move the furniture around, all the kind of Helen Keller jokes you've ever heard. But they would make noises. They would do all this stuff. They kind of forced her for extended periods of time to do it, so that by the time she went to the actual audition, she was more scared of not knowing how to be deaf and blind, or how to pull that off. And that, there's a story of that I know that there was, what a Klieg light is. It's the big lights that hang up on the studio, on the stage or whatever. Actually, Klieg lights I think are more for movies. But anyway, whatever the big lights are, apparently one fell and crashed on the stage, and everyone in the audience screamed and shrieked, and all the people on stage jumped and kind of, in terror. And my mom apparently just stayed right where she was. Yeah, that's the story I've heard. So so yeah, she was totally committed to it. What I really picked up on was her eyes. What she did with that, I'd have a headache. I don't think I could do that. I mean, physically, I just don't think I could do it. But and you can see little techniques that she was using in order not to be distracted by other things. There's that one scene where I think Annie Sullivan is kind of philosophizing about why she can't learn and everything, and Helen's just standing there, kind of in thought or lost in Helen world in her mind for like 3 minutes. I don't think she blinks for 3 minutes. It's I was hypnotized by that in this viewing. But, all right, sorry.
One more question.
Anybody have a last question? Yeah, wait. Let me. Yeah, go ahead. Well, in the movie, and I think it's pretty accurate, when she was about 22 months or 18 months or something very, very young, before she was 2 years old, she had a really bad fever. She had a really bad fever, and apparently, I don't know whether it was, what did they say it could be?
Scarlet
fever, like maybe it was scarlet fever. The doctor's description is hilarious. He calls it like some brain or whatever, what is the word you use? Yeah, congestion, brain or whatever, congestion. But anyway, she had some illness that manifested itself in a really high fever, and that hurt her. I sort of feel like this little guy here might have had one.
Sure.
How did your mom know that you were going to play this movie today?
A little birdie told her. No, I called her and said that we were going to do it, and that John liked the idea of putting it on, and You know, it's the plays are done all over the place. The movies are on. They're on TV every now and then. But for some reason, looking at it on a big screen. And like I said, I was with my dad in Lansing for a play he was doing 2 days ago, and he said to Alexandra just at dinner, completely related to nothing because he knew nothing about this event. He said, "You know what you really ought to do at some point is try and get your grandma's movie on, look at it really on the big screen." And I said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Do you have any last thoughts, anything you want to share?"
What? You can share if you want. Want to say goodbye to the people? Thanks for watching it.
I just wanted to say that I'm very proud of my grandma for doing that show, and that I really liked it. And
That's the first time she's seen it. First time she's seen it, yeah.
so,
And you were really paying attention. I thought that was cool. Oh, I know one thing. I'll tell you one last thing, and then I know you can make we went to see my mom, who's in Wicked now. Oh, I should say, she's actually now, if you want to go to San Francisco and see her, she's playing Morrible in Wicked, and she's phenomenal. I tell people that, she's actually the bad guy. She's the worst person in the play. Her character is awful. She's the one who kind of creates all the drama. And, at one point, she climbs up into this parapet thing, and she kind of screams out about Alpha, she's wicked! And I was like, man, that's my mom! That's good. But before we went up to San Francisco to see it, and before we left to go to the theater, I know it's in your own family, you kind of don't mythologize. We don't mythologize all the kind of stuff that we do in movies and television. It's like fun, it's work, it's whatever, it's good, we're proud of it, but then we kind of move on. Like if you go into her house, actually now I think she has a little trophy shelf up with the Oscar and a couple of the Emmys, but for many, many years, if you walked into her home, would have no reason to know or believe that she was an actress. And it's like that in our house. We don't really know that. So anyway, it occurred to me that, they're going to go see their Nana live in person on the stage, and I wanted them to know what that, have a little extra special feeling. So on my iPhone, I pulled up the scene of the fight. I said, "Come on, you guys, look at Nana, look at her fighting." She's playing Helen Keller. We're like leaving to go to the theater. And after she watches it, after about, 6 minutes, I think it's a 12-minute sequence, she says, "Dad, they're just fighting and fighting and fighting, and that's all they're doing. They just never stop fighting." So now, did she learn anything? What do you think she learned? What do you think? Anything?
I'm really not for sure.
You're not for sure?
I'm really not.
What about you? You want to finish it up?
I think she learned, I know this is a long shot, but I'm pretty sure she learned how to understand what things were. And basically it was a big difference from seeing, because it was also my first time seeing it. I mean, I knew the concept of what it was, and I'd seen snippets before, but it was my first time seeing it. And I thought it was really moving, and I was amazed at how much someone can learn in that much time, and I couldn't believe it was a true story. So just what she'd learned in that much time in life lessons and stuff like that was really fascinating to me.
Here, read.
Can I just say one more thing?
Yeah, real quick.
We'll finish up with this thought. This is something that Helen, it's a quote of hers. She's an immensely quotable figure in American history, but anyhow, world history. She wrote literature, which is, once you learn to spell, then you can put those words together and, you get literature, if you're lucky. Literature is my utopia. Here I am not disenfranchised. No barrier of the senses shuts me out from the sweet, gracious discourses of my book friends. They talk to me without embarrassment or awkwardness.